Hey there, everyone. This is Lychee Punnet of Top Tier Tips, here with the ReZero Set 2 set review. Long time coming, but with me are Tim Tom, the guy who does tech support.
Hello.
Oh God, my connection is the worst. On Solid MB, the Australian.
Hello. I actually have good internet unlike Alf.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Why is my internet so
Surprising.
bad today? Yeah. So we're probably gonna jump straight in because I'm pretty sure my internet's just gonna shit itself any moment now.
Okay.
There's a big spiel on like what our card ratings are, but basically if you see a grade that you would like to get in like high school, then that's probably a good card. Whereas if you see a grade where it's like if your parents are Asian, they'll whip you, then it's probably not that well. That's not true because like they'll whip you for a B plus. Uh, okay, so just read the stupid slideshow. We're gonna go straight in. The first card is Crucian Ferris. So this is a 3/2 advanced summon heal. If you have two or more of this card in your waiting room, you can advance summon it. And if all of your characters are magical weapon, it gains 1,500, and your opponent cannot play backup during battles involving this. So it becomes a 10k, cannot be countered. It can be event countered, but can't be countered. So it's one of the worst advanced summon conditions. Like I haven't seen this one in a long time, and I'm just not a fan of it at all. What do you guys think?
And it's a heal.
I think heals are fine. I think the condition is poop. So, it's also
I
not a
think-
card that
Can I
you
give
benefit-
this an F?
It's also not a card you benefit from running 4 of, which would probably be like if this requirement were to be acceptable, that would probably be like a quality of the card that like if it were like a finisher, right? Your main finisher, and it had this advanced summon condition tacked on, and the finishing effect was like free or something. I don't know. That'd be okay, but I don't know.
I think
it doesn't
you could
really.
definitely
It
It's
doesn't
actually
really.
reasonable to. I think it's actually reasonable to give this card an F because every time you put this in your deck gets worse.
You know, that's a really good point. I feel like if you ever add this to your deck, and like you probably add four, your deck is probably worse off. But you could also just, add one and not have it as your advanced summon. Like you could just play the set one Rem as your advanced summon, and this is like your fifth heal, I guess.
It's a yellow
I
heal.
know you have better options in most decks, but if you need a yellow heal, then yeah, this is your best choice. No, it's not your best
Sure.
choice, but it's
I'll give
one
this
of
a
your better
D for
choices.
being a yellow heal.
Yeah. Can you get this off the trait restricted Azusa? I forget.
This is a knight.
No, it's magic weapon.
You can't.
Then you can't.
Okay, never mind then. That's not even worth talking about. Of note is that the 1/1 event from the first set can I mean I guess you can get two copies of this, right? You can get a
Yeah.
Crucian of Thirds. And then you can ditch one of them to help the level. Oh
Oh, that's
God, I should
OP.
stop thinking about this before I come up with an
Whoa.
I'm about to come up with an
Whoa.
actually good idea.
That's pretty cool.
I should stop.
This doesn't change my rating.
Yo, you could do that with Mika too.
Yeah, no,
Lol.
I'm not a huge fan. All right, this next card, Felt Shining Dragonstone. This is another yellow heal, but unlike the other one, it's not an EP. This is a climax combo. So, at the start of your encore phase, if you have the shot climax in the climax zone, you have this in the front row. You may sack 3 characters from your stage. That includes this one. You can sack this card if you
3
like.
yellow characters.
Yes, the 3 yellow characters. I mean, I said that, but I guess my internet was anyway. If so, choose up to 1 3/3 Reinhardt in your waiting room and put it rested in any slot on stage, and then deal 1 damage to your opponent. So, something to note: you you can keep getting rid of your field until you only have Reinhardt left, because the Reinhardt you put on field is a yellow character that you can proceed to sack again if you have several of these. It's a bit weird.
Yeah,
I
you can
think,
do
but
2 of these basically.
yes.
You just
It is
can't-
a. Hmm?
if you sack itself to its combo, you still deal the 1 damage, but any shot triggers and stuff that are on there aren't like there anymore.
Yes, correct, because they are associated with a character despite not being from a character. So this looks like a weak finishing combo, but the finishing effect is actually on the Reinhardt. So for those who don't know what Reinhardt is, it's one of the most overspec cards printed ever. It's a 3/3 with Bodyguard, Hexproof, 20k, cannot be reversed by auto effects, and on reverse of an opponent, you can ditch a card, don't have to pay any stock. If you do, burn your opponent for 1. So that's the actual finishing effect.
Memory kick.
Yes, it's also a optional memory kick.
And it's a runner.
Yes, it can run. It can run from any slot on stage to center front row if need be. So,
no, it can run anywhere. It can even run back row.
Oh, okay, sure. It can run to any slot, so it's very difficult to get rid of. Basically, there's like 2 cards in the game which can realistically be played to get rid of it, and they're all in like
which are those
bad
2 cards?
Lucha
Oh, it's
Gold
The
Bar.
basically,
LB one doesn't work.
Well, no, Lucha Gold Bar doesn't really work. You can just run back. The cards in question are the P3
Oh
Bounceable
my
Characters event
god.
and the Eva 3/7 event and the
Oh.
Kuriyami from Monogatari. Basically all extremely unplayable events or unplayable series, so don't worry about that.
Sure.
Point is, Reinhardt's here to stay, and he's a big dude. Big boy.
Wait, can he be
as for
killed
this
by
card-
the self-kill effects? I think
No.
he can, right?
No,
The targets.
no.
Those
No, he
target.
can't.
Okay, sure.
No. So effects like Haruka, Shield of Igus from LB, and the Betty from the first set of ReZero, those effects still. The thing is, it's the opponent's effect, and therefore, even though you're the one choosing, it's still as a result of your opponent's effect, and therefore it does not bypass hexproof because it's your opponent's effect and you're still choosing it. But that's the thing. It's the choice of an opponent's effect, so it does not bypass hexproof. This is actually a ruling that's been made, so yeah, does not work. Either way, this is a reasonable finishing combo. My only issue is that it takes up a climax slot, and I'm not sure I want to give the climax slot to a shot trigger.
Also forces you into yellow cards.
Shot trigger is really good, but yeah, this is basically
it's also very
forcing you to
restrictive.
yellow.
Like it'll warp your deck building, obviously, because there are a lot of
So
conditions on
yeah,
its use.
because and another problem is that a lot of the yellow cards, like one of the major draws to yellow is the free fresh effect, the felt, and that card is one that gains value from staying on stage. So Reinhardt is usually like a Hail Mary. That's what it's supposed to be, and you have to do a bit of setup. But this needs even more setup, and you have to make it your main game plan. You can't just put a climax in your deck to do nothing and then just hope to outcompress your opponent with felts. That
Wait,
seems very
Are you
bad.
talking about the Featherman event?
I mean, that's one of the events that bounces it.
Holy.
Well, I've played with this combo quite a bit, and it's a bit weird because ideally, like Reinhardt would be good when you're ahead. Which, for example, if you have the Priscilla deck, you tend to naturally be ahead. But on the other side, if you're ahead, the opponent already got off their endgame, so you can't really deny their endgame with Reinhardt. And then it also kind of loses a lot of its appeal. Because a lot of its appeal is just that it completely shuts off any restands and on-reverse effect.
Imagine if you could advance summon this. That would actually make it worth playing, hey?
Yeah, if this was like if this had the condition from Felix, I think that's like a card that's good enough to like have such a shitty condition.
Yes, I think I agree. But it does not, so let's not live in a land that doesn't exist. I think we can move on from this card. It's a fine card for mono yellow, I guess.
Cool card, I'll say that.
Yep.
If we got more of those, I'd have been more happy with the set. Doesn't need to be good, it just needs to be interesting.
Yep. Next card. I think this next card kind of sums up the set as a whole, really.
Yeah.
It's a 3K00 Felt. When this is placed from hand to stage, it gains 1/5, so it's a 4/5 for a turn. When this becomes reversed in battle, if you have one or fewer other magical clock trait, put it in your clock. So this card is almost there. It's serviceable, and I mean, it's not great, but the thing is, it's playable, I suppose. I would play the runner 100% of the time over this. And honestly, that sums up most of the set. They're just cards I'd rather play over this from the first set.
Why is this so rare?
Yeah, why is this
This
a
is
rare?
a
I'm
vanilla.
very confused. It's not a vanilla. It's the come and play
basically
game
a
power
vanilla.
effect. Yeah, it basically is. But
These are
basically not
commons
very
in
much.
trial decks.
This is a card that could be a common in a trial deck, yes. Like that drawback is not particularly impactful, but also not particularly good. It is notable that the only real time that it's going to activate is at level 0, and at level 0 you don't mind accelerating to level 1 faster. So if you're playing, for example, the Felt Climax combo, which needs reverse targets, then this is not actually a terrible choice. But at the same time, a runner just gets away from that slot and makes you take 1 extra damage anyway. So I really don't see the point of this.
Runner also prevents crashing.
Yes, but that only
tie.
applies to bombs, I guess.
Yeah, or if you
Tying,
tie.
yeah,
Tie.
tying. Yeah.
Okay, sure. That is true. So basically, like I said, there is no situation where I'd rather play this over a runner, to be honest. Like Felt's even the runner, so there's not even a waifu
They
argument.
wasted the cute art on this. Why?
I don't know. To punish lolicons. Alright, next card. Felt, value of the emblem. It's a 1035 support. During your turn, all your yellow characters gain 1k power, and all your yellow characters will always have 2 cost encore, which is one of the worst encores, if you ask me. This is clearly meant to support the next card. It's a power pump for on-reverse combos, like the next card. Look, because of that, it has value. Like, this card the effective equivalent of this card in Attack on Titan is really, really useful because how good the on-reverse combo is. The on-reverse combo in this deck is not quite as good, but it's really nice to be able to get that extra power, especially because the climax associated is not a power climax. I really don't know why you're giving it such a high grade, but
Probably
whatever.
because it
Maybe it's better.
enhances the early play Felt.
Yeah,
Which I can understand.
This with the early play Felt is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sure.
The value is there, for sure.
Okay.
Like,
I'm.
It obviously, obviously, you're only
outside
playing
of
it.
That, it's like pretty.
Yeah.
Whatever. Right?
You're only playing it if you're using the level 1 combo, because that combo really needs this, in a way. But since if you're playing the level 1 combo, you're also playing the early play, and this supports the early play so well, because even 3-stock encoring Felt is something that happens from time to time, and 2-stock encoring Felt is just a no-brainer. Like, basically every time she gets reversed, you just 2-stock encore her. If she doesn't get, like, bottom decked or whatever.
And she's 11k on these sword, which is nice.
11.5.
11.5?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, you're right. It's 11.5. It's not bad.
12.5 to turn your change into her.
Yes.
Never forget. Always remember.
I'm still not changing my rating because it is.
Yeah, I mean,
it only
C+
goes in one
is
deck.
fine. C+ is
yeah,
fine.
like it only goes in one deck. Like I would not play it outside of that specific
Sure,
deck.
I can give it a
and that's not even clearly
whatever.
the best deck.
I think if it were just a global, I'd give like a C. So C+ for the.
Yeah, like it has a role for sure, but I'm not particularly impressed. I guess. Like, no. All right, next card. Felt. Tough to swallow situation. It's a 105k. And it's just a climax combo. When you have Girl of Gale, which is the first set stock soul in your climax zone, and you reverse your battle opponent, look up the 4 cards from the top of your deck, add a magic or weapon to your hand, put the rest in the waiting room, give another character 2k power. So this is the quote unquote Minami, and while this is a fine effect, but you need to really have a reason to run this over the Amelia from the first set, because that combo just is very low maintenance. You just get it off. It's
I mean,
7k for no reason.
Well, the reason
Like,
is it saves climax space, right? If you want to use this, because this
No,
is the
well,
same.
if
It's the
you
same stock soul as the one that combos with the free
with the
fresh
free
from set
with
one.
So
the
it doesn't
refresh, yes.
actually, it doesn't really save climax space in that sense. It gives you the option of playing the refresher alongside a top end climax.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're right. But I think that's worthwhile. I think that's cool.
Yeah,
It's fine. It is a fine climax combo, but I feel like I'd rather play Emilia.
like that was an issue the set had before, and not that you even had like top end finishing combos, but something that like came up whenever we discussed what the set needed is that you don't really have that many extra top end options because your climaxes were locked into the refresher and the book. So since they printed something like this, they were able to quote unquote fix the problem. It's not really a fix per se because this is still obviously worse than Amelia, but it allows you to play a top end climax and still use the Felt refresher, which is one of the more powerful cards of the set. And probably
Yeah.
also one of the engines that made ReZero what it is. I think the Felt refresher is very key to the set as a whole.
Yeah, to making the set worth running, I suppose, because the set as a whole is, I mean, most sets, when they get an expansion, they also get an accompanying power boost, whereas this set is almost like, I would definitely classify this as a support set. It just makes some existing decks a bit better, slightly
I'm not
better,
even sure.
not
I'm
significantly
not
better.
even sure it made existing decks like a lot better, except for like Maids, I guess. It just
Mage is
gave
an
you
existing deck with
alternate ways to build the set. And it didn't.
like mono
I don't think
mono
it pushed
yellow
the
is
power
an
level at
existing
all,
deck.
to be honest.
No,
well, that's
that's my
because
point.
everyone
Like,
else
it
got
didn't.
better, right?
No, but I mean,
Kind
like,
of.
I
But
think if you compare the yellow blue deck that was strictly set one and whatever you build from set two, they're pretty comparable in power level.
That's a fair thing. But like, I would like to note that back then it
yeah,
was
sure.
like when on release, there wasn't that much competition, like at ReZero's power level. So I think the biggest threat was like Gochusa or Rewrite. We didn't have Sunshine EB or
You mean on set one release?
yeah. So I mean yeah. I mean set one release. Yeah. Oops.
Sure.
Oops. Oh, Steam. Gotta mute Steam. Ha ha ha. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. Next card probably. I think we've.
Yeah.
Sure. This is the Cream Dilla meme. Betelgeuse Romani Conti himself. It's a 3/2. Come and play. Check top 3. Add 1 to your hand. Ditch the rest. And it has when you place the different you place the shot that's not Felt's level 3 shot into the climax zone. And if this is in the front row, you may pay 2, then ditch 2 Witch's Cult characters from your hand to waiting room, which is basically everyone associated with this guy. If you do, choose up to 2 invisible hand in your waiting room, which is a
Army
1/0
card.
stock bomb, I think.
It's
Yeah.
also an army card. Yeah.
Yeah, put them in separate empty slots on the stage, and all of that card gain 1 soul, and on cancel deal 2. So this is the finisher for the army deck. I've said this before, but army decks are not they're not based on the quality of their finishes. They're based on the quality of their engines. So all the viable army decks are the ones with powerful engines, either specific brainstorms or specific plussing cards that have a heavy cost related to the army card itself, like the 10 Sisters PR or the noise scientist guy. And we'll get to how good the army deck is, but as a finisher, like just as a card to evaluate in the invisible hand deck, this is actually a powerful finisher. This is 3 instances of 3 soul that cancel into 3 instances of 2 soul, which is
This is
pretty
also
solid.
really cheap. This is like
yes,
excessively
it's like
cheap
pay
even.
2. It's literally just pay 2 to gain all of those effects. So
And
the
you
real
only need
because
one of your finisher. Yeah.
yes. So and the cost that you pay is making your deck around these cards, and
I mean, you
that-
don't
that's
even
cost,
have
I
to
guess.
make your deck around these cards, right? If you could just like, if you run 4 of the army card in this, you can just pitch the army cards to the cost and then summon them, and that's your finisher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Now we'll get to the actual engines that this deck has. It has a couple, not a lot, but it certainly has a couple. But
This
as
also
it
has
stands,
relevance for the yellow deck because it's the only yellow card that digs apart from
The Subaru.
the brainstorm.
Lol.
The Subaru
Mhm.
doesn't count. That card is actually unplayable, guys. But yeah, this is the only thing that digs that's yellow and that's relevant because the level 3 felt can only sack yellow characters, so you need your entire board to be yellow.
I think he's on trait too.
Yeah, he's like magic or
Yeah.
weapon.
No, I think he's magic.
One of those. I think magic would
Probably
make more
magic.
sense.
The truly dank memes with this deck is to also play Reinhardt, and after you do this stuff, you can
8
use. There's an
shots,
event that
boys.
yeah, well, no, you don't play you don't have to play the felt stuff. There's an event which swaps like a level 3 in your deck with a level 3 on field. So this is like the only thing that's ever going to survive. So you can just swap in Reinhardt and meme your opponent. But yeah, there's that's neither here nor there. I think this is actually a fine card as the top end for the Witch's Cult deck, but I don't think the Witch's Cult deck is particularly compelling.
Holy shit, I didn't even know this card existed. What the fuck? I need to build this deck right now.
Oh no, I'm giving people stupid ideas. But yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
the first thing I thought of when I
This
saw
is
that
really
event,
cool. This is actually really cool.
which is really silly. Like there are some advantage engines that let you take advantage of Reinhardt, and this is actually a competent finishing like combo. I think it's in terms of raw finishing power, this is second only to Betty. But I mean you're probably memeing if you're playing this in the first place. Alright,
Yeah.
next card. Felt stands in front of the enemy. This is a 0015. It gives 1/5 power to the front row center slot. Well, if they have magical weapon. It's not going to power up your Betelgeuse, unfortunately. And when this direct attacks, give a character with either magical weapon, that character gains 1 soul for the turn.
It just powers up Betelgeuse, by the way. You literally just said
wait,
it's not
is
off
he
rate.
magic?
Yeah, he's magic.
Oh, I wasn't even listening because my connection's so bad. Yeah. Okay, sure. It powers up Betelgeuse. So this goes into Betelgeuse deck clearly. This card is fine. I don't value a single soul on a different character. If you could direct attack and give the soul to yourself, I think I might like it more. But as it is, this is like a
Well,
card.
the issue is that that's tied to the direct attack. If it was just like on attack, if something is sold, this would obviously be very.
Oh, just you win the center lane, and then you direct attack with this later. Like, I mean, that's the concept, right? It's not a great concept, but it's like that's what the card is supposed to do, I think.
Sure.
I mean, whatever. Like it's a card. I don't think it's terrible. Okay. Next card. This is the army card, Invisible Hand. It's a 1025 cost 0 stock bomb, which means that your opponent can't just wall up easily unless they're walling up behind costed characters. It has it just gives the level 3 1k power while it's on field, which means that it's unlikely for the level 3 to be reversed, and therefore you can play the 2/0
The
event
level
and
3
get right.
is still just called 5.
Yeah, sure, but you also have you're probably gonna have a bunch of counters in your hand because of how this deck works. And this is just it's fine. It's like a combo piece, really. I'm just gonna give this a C. If you need a,
If
if
this
you need
was,
like
if
a
this was,
cost bomb, it's
wait, you lied to me. You said it
what?
was a counter. The event is not a counter.
I never said that.
Okay, then my mind went there itself. Feels bad.
No. You Betelgeuse is supposed to survive, and then you meme them with Ryan.
Oh, I don't want to build the deck anymore.
Yeah, deck sucks. All right.
The army
It's just
card,
a combo piece. I don't think.
Betelgeuse would be a lot better if the army card was a lot better. I think I would like it if it was a level 0 vanilla. To be honest,
You mean like Red
what
Puyo?
the army card?
not even Red Puyo, because Red Puyo needs multiple of them, right? But just a straight up vanilla,
All right. Next card. This
because
is
that functions
Subaru.
as an oversize.
So the goal of Subaru waifu is getting more and more easy to realize. This card is interesting. So it just comes into play and does nothing, but then you can use its ability to sack the entire field, draw 2, ditch 2. I want to say that it has uses, but realistically, it doesn't have use. Like, yeah, you can set up
The
Reinhardt with this, but
the Emilia 1-0 check top 2 is basically always better than this.
You can set up
yes.
boards where you can like get rid of like big cards.
Yeah.
Like, so if you wanted to crash, if you wanted to crash for a card that you're playing later that you need reverses for, you could use this card, which I think is like it's not worth playing this card, but it's like not completely useless. Like I can't.
No, you know what? I'm giving this an F. I see no situation where I'm playing it. Like there are just no situations.
The thing is, in ReZero, if like your fat board survives, you're probably winning anyways. So.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm just never playing that. Next card, Betelgeuse, Invisible Threat. When you play this from hand to stage, if you have another Witch's Cult character, this gains 2k power for the turn. You may pay 1, tap another Witch's Cult character that's standing. If you do, when you reverse your battle opponents, you may search your deck for a Witch's Cult character, add it to your hand. This is a profile that we all like, I think. Like, it's just a non-climax reliant advantage engine. You can't splash this because of the silly requirements, but it's the reason why you can play the silly. Well, it and the counter are the reason why you can play the silly Witch's Cult deck.
Would you play this in yellow blue if it didn't have the trait thingies?
I'd consider it. I would
It's
certainly
hard to find
consider it.
room.
I agree. Room is a problem, and
Yeah,
there are
also,
other level 1 games.
I don't know how often you play with a second back row in that deck at like level 1 and stuff.
Yeah, true. You probably have to like put. Well, you don't rest your brains. Like you don't brainstorm in first deck, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I brainstorm in the first deck all the time.
What is scrub?
Oh.
Yeah. Solid card.
Solid card has trait restrictions that make it only go in one deck. Force it only in one deck.
Right,
also, Elf broke out, and the cost is pay 1, rest 1 of your standing characters. And it also gains like 2k on play if you're just listening to this. So it's like a 6/5 attacker, and on reverse you can pay 1 rest and search.
Sure, neat.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep breaking Elf. Anyway, next card is a Reinhardt. It's a 1045. It gains 2k during your turn if you only have magic and weapon traits. And when you have when any of your characters attack, this is in the front row, and you have the 2 soul in the climax zone, you may choose to give the attacking character -1 soul for the turn. If you do, that character gains 2k for the turn. Oh god.
Nice.
So this can attack as an 8k. This is not worth it. This is absolute garbage. There's no advantage tied to this. At level 1 is like no. Like if you want to play 2 soul, you're playing it to try and stick a crap ton of damage. You're not playing it to not stick a crap ton of damage. So don't bother.
This would be interesting if it like comboed with the shot.
No, it
Would it be
that's
And
interesting?
if it's
that's
I
not
don't know
true.
about that.
It would be interesting. It would be interesting if you
No.
like drew a card as
no, if it like comboed with the level 3 shot, right? And if it could be in back row or something. Well, it doesn't need to be back row because it can only field 2 felts anyways. I think if it comboed with the shot, this would actually see play.
I completely disagree. I think that you're reaching.
No, because at level 3, being able to attack for 2 or 3 is pretty powerful.
I mean,
sure.
just play,
Yeah.
just play Betelgeuse. Be a real man.
But the fact that this is like its own climax combo obviously makes this unplayable.
It's garbage. All right, next card. Oh jeez. This is another Reinhardt. It's a 2/1 level support and up to once a turn when that's the level 3 felt, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The old
when
level 3 felt, the stock
Yeah.
charger.
Yep. So when that's placed from hand to stage, you may put the top card of your deck into stock. Notably, this does not work with the combo that is from deck. But it's fine.
Otherwise,
I
this
think
would have been maybe okay. But like, as this deck doesn't need a level X.
No,
So
you'd rather play the 2Ks to level 3s. No, I don't.
But that's
I don't
not
think
yellow.
I don't think being yellow is anything.
No, but why do
valuable.
you need a level X when you can just pay 2 to anchor the felt? Let's be real.
Yeah, I guess he's kind of right there,
Yeah.
to be honest. All right. Next card. It's another felt. This is a 2/1. It's one of those level 3 assassins. When it attacks, if the opponent's level 3, I mean, if the character opposite's level 3, it's a 13/5. This is a fine card. It's fine to have. It would be nicer if there was something bonus, like an extra soul or some sort of other power pump.
Well,
like,
if you take an extra soul, do you gain less power?
The bonus you get is the head pat.
Alright. Next card, Julius. This is a alarm, which means it has to be on top of your clock. If this is on top of your clock at the start of your climax phase, you may ditch a card. If you do, salvage a magical weapon trait. I mean, in theory, this card is fine. In practice, I'm not sure this will be in your hand when you want to clock it. Like,
timing on this is really shit.
Yeah, like I do not think this is a card that you will ever really
Actually,
play.
no.
No, you could play it in like the Knights deck. You could definitely play it in the Knights deck. That deck does not have very good fixing.
Sure.
But I'm not convinced this is like a card.
No, I'm just going by this. It's like people thinking about this in a trap sense, in that it's like freehand fixing, but no, it's like trash.
Yeah. If you're gonna fall for a trap in this set, there's a much better candidate. And of course, the next card is not a Felix, so that segue does not really work very well. Next card is Fingertips, which is the second army card of the set. This is Witch's Cult. It's your, token level 0 for the Witch's Cult set.
Level 3 only summons the level 1, not this.
Yes, but this is a level 0, and you need level 0s to fill out your deck.
But this is like the worst army profile.
Yeah, I think this is actually one of the worst army profiles ever. I think this is worse than the requires full field to have power cards. It is still stock bomb, so it's only that bad, but it's pretty bad.
I mean, stock bomb is pretty bad. You need to have a good secondary effect for stock bombs, for any type of bomb to be playable. And
you can play as
running
this as you want.
50 of them doesn't count as an
You
advantage.
could try field then. Turn 1.
Kappa. Alright, next card, Krush. This is better than the rare belt. In my
Yeah.
opinion.
Feels fucking bad.
It's a 1/5. It gains 3k in the center front row. It'll probably live. But it is vulnerable to bombs, for whatever that's worth. Still not as good as a runner.
When does the Fox gain? Oh, the Fox is only 4k, not 4/5. Sure.
Dude, this
If this was gain 2/5 in a level, this would be better.
center slot synergy.
Oh, sure. This is it's whatever. If you have this and the felt that gives 1/5 to center middle row, then ooh,
Scary.
And then there's also the Felix from first set, which gives 1/5 to center row crush.
Big lady. All right, next card.
0075. Sounds good.
Yes. Felix, member of the Knights. This is global to all magic and weapons, and you can tap this to give the level 3 crushing Felix 2/5 for the turn. This is for the waifu deck. I don't think it's good even in the waifu deck. There's not really a reason you want to pump your Crucian Ferris on your turn only.
You only play this because there's so little Felix cards. The card is fucking not very good.
Okay. Speaking of not very good Felix cards, this is Felix Moment of Happiness. When this is placed from hand to stage, it's level 1 for the record. You can pay 1 and clock the top card of your deck. If you do, choose up to up to 1 2/1 vanilla Crush in your hand and put it in any slot on stage. And it's a ditch bond to that same card. Oh my god. There are so many things wrong with this card. Like it does consistently poop out a 2/1/8/5 onto your field, but no.
If this also gave the 8/5 like 3k power constantly.
No, even 1k would be 1k would make this go from unplayable to I guess it's okay in waifu, but it's not that. It's just no, don't. All right. Next card.
Is this the only ditch out the waifu deck has?
This is a super interesting card. 1055. Wilhelm. It cannot side attack, and at the end of this card's attack, so regardless of what has happened, you may sack this. If you do, draw 1, ditch 1. So if it died, you can do it. If it didn't die, you can get rid of it and remove a reverse target. It even works if you side attacked. It works if you direct attacked. It works no matter what. You can just sack it for some marginal value. This card is really cool. Yeah, this card is really cool.
Pretty cool. Like you can basically always set up Reinhardt with this.
That being said, it is only like a C+, but surprisingly, I think it's actually one of the better yellow cards, which is really depressing. Okay, this is the counter I was talking about. 2/1 Betelgeuse. It's a 2/5 counter, and when you use the backup, you may pay 1. If you do, at the
level 3,
it's just a If you use this to save something, this is a straight up plus for 1, which is pretty solid. It helps you set up your combo very easily, and therefore this is a fine card in that deck. As a counter, it doesn't really do anything unless you're a baller and run like the combo in 1/1 and like 3 invisible hands or something. But I'm not gonna go there.
You have stuff to defend at level 2 in this deck, right?
Do you? I don't remember.
The level 2 in this deck.
Honestly, wouldn't this deck just run like Felt?
Oh, that's a good point.
Just run like Felt and Betelgeuse and then like use the tap counter. Well, actually, no, you can't use tap counter because your hands die. Fuck.
Was Alf gonna say? Were you gonna say something, Alf? Oh, guess he's gone.
Okay, so I heard nothing but aliens screaming from my headphones.
Well, you were about to say something about a level 2 card you can defend with this.
The
I literally
Felix
can't
and
hear
Krush
you.
early play.
Oh well. He is indisposed, I suppose. So I guess we'll keep going.
Nobody was questioning this. Okay.
Well, he can't hear
Krush
us. So
Vanilla.
we'll just keep going. Yeah.
Oh,
To next one is a
sure.
2 on Krush. Krush Victoriel. This is the one that gets pooped out by the.
Someone.
You want to give us a D? Oh, I guess it is a D. It's a
Sure.
vanilla. Whatever.
I don't know why I gave this a D, to be honest. I just
vanilla,
use
dude.
D for bad cards.
Yeah, whatever. Not much to talk about here.
Don't play this.
Let's move on. We have Rental Goa next. 2-0 event. You can choose a character on your stage whose level is equal to or lower than your level and put it in the waiting room. And if you do that, you can search your library for up to one character at the same level as the character put in the bin and put it on any slot of the stage, then shuffle your library. So the meme dream alluded to before was...
This would be... I guess this would be a lot more interesting if this had an easier way to pump level.
Yes, like Persona, for example.
If you just
the only
pump
cool thing,
like level 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you can pump Puck. You can pump Puck to level 3 pretty easily. And you can
then
summon...
poop out Reinhardt.
You can summon Reinhardt at level 2.
That's what he was... is there a level?
Oh, and then you can use the...
Is there a level?
Yeah, there's a level... There's the back row. Yeah, the pumps 1 level. Oh, no! Oh!
Wait. Isn't there a Brainstorm that does that too? Is it Climax step? I think it's Climax phase. There's a Rem or something. It's a Climax phase. +1 level or something. Well, I mean, the obvious application for this card is like summoning Reinhardt or...
Pump out Reinhardt at level 2 for 0 stock. Sounds good.
Or Felt or
Honestly,
something.
I might do that. Holy shit.
All right.
I actually bought boxes so I have this event. Oh, time to brew. Holy.
Alright. Well...
I didn't even look... Why did I not look at this card? That's weird.
What do you... that said, it's still
I'm
just
giving it
an
an M for memes.
It is still just a 2-0 event that doesn't...
It negs you 1.
It's like...
But you can get value.
Wait. Yeah, it does neg you 1. And the only value here to be had is from a level boosted Puck swapping into a Reinhardt. So,
to be fair, it's pretty big value.
Is it that great value? Like, he's not even going to be active.
Why is he not active?
How is he going to be active at level 2?
How is he not active? You just crashed the other lanes.
Sure, if you crash your back row. I mean, sure. Let's... I don't know.
You probably only have 1 back row anyways. Oh wait, the level booster. Fuck, the level booster.
Yeah, nice one, dude. Does it tap?
Yeah, it taps.
Wow.
So you need to overplay
nice
the
card.
level booster.
Nice card, dude. Alright.
No, you can put it on any slot. Yeah, so you need to play over the level. So it's like a neg 2, I guess. But neg 2 to early play Reinhardt seems okay.
That seems...
Are you guys actually trying to make this work?
No, he's trying to make it
work.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to make it work.
That was all the yellow cards. We'll be back with red in a little bit. Thanks.